We've worked together a long time now, haven't we? Sales and marketing, you were doing a finance job at the time. Yeah. But we've worked together on the 3G launch, we've now worked together on the 4G launch, and just around the corner we've got the 5G launch. So so really exciting stuff, and it's been a great 13 years. Day-to-day basis, well, it's kind of a mixture of formal and informal conversations. You know, we try to we obviously have our regular meetings and board meetings and etc. But we catch up every now and again. We go for lunch, the informality comes with text messages and phoning each other when we've got a problem that we need to resolve, or there's an opportunity we want to capitalise on.
Obviously, we're a big organisation. You know, we've got 10,000 people, and I think the hardest thing in a big organisation is when you launch a big campaign is getting those guys to understand it. And I think we really, really respect the front line. You know, we respect those guys, and when we create campaigns, you know, we spend as much time on the campaign as we do on the brief to make sure people understand what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve. And I think that's really where you get, you know, high staff engagement, which we've managed to achieve over the last few years.
We can come up with the most creative campaign in the world, but if we haven't got the hearts and minds of the front line, then it's not going to succeed. And I think what you've taught us is a greater appreciation for those guys, and it's almost like a campaign within a campaign to get the motivation right when we launch our new propositions and campaigns.
And how great they make them, that when you hear the original idea to the end product, that's the power of marketing. You know what I mean? Taking something and you say, well, that's not too bad, and then when you actually look at the end product, you go, wow, that's amazing.
We definitely have a common sense of purpose, and that is to put our customers first in everything that we do, which means listening to the front line is incredibly important. They're the guys that are closest to the customer day in, day out, and we reflect that in our marketing propositions, reflect that in our insight, and turn that into our campaign.
Well, I totally agree. I think actually the way I always like to look at it, and I've done this my entire career, is, you know, it's like kind of the magic three. You know, you've got to have you've got to do the right thing on your customers, you've got to do the right thing on your staff, and of course you've got to hit the commercial priorities of the business. And I think one thing that Max and I actually changed together when we came into these roles is we said to our boss, we said to him, we want the same objectives. So on those three things, the objectives are exactly the same. There's no difference.
We typically see things from a very similar perspective, and when we don't, we will face into that, and we'll have the conversation with each other, and that's what's important as well. Embracing conflict in a relationship between sales and marketing is something that you must do.
And occasionally in life, you've got to have an argument, but you know, I think because we've known each other such a long time, both of us are happy to be. You know, if we disagree, we're happy to be honest about it. There's no, you know, it's just an open, honest conversation.
There's lots of things I admire, but I suppose the biggest thing that I pull out is his commercial instinct and his ability to process incredible amounts of data. We're in a complex market, and we're a massive mass market brand with multiple channels. There's an enormous amount of data that he has to process, and he does that incredibly quickly and comes out with amazing insights and has great instincts.
He does an amazing job of creating that value and really being quite inspirational in terms of some of these, you know, you look at something that can be quite boring to people, you know, telephone line at the end of the day, whatever it is, but really creating that premium and creating that value and being really, really creative about it, I think is a rare skill.
First pound and the last pound that we spend as an organisation is on our network, and that will always be the case. To improve our customers' experience through that. So when it comes to sales and marketing, we have to be super efficient, and that means that binds us together. There is no excuse for misalignment. We have to work really hard at it every day to ensure that we're being as efficient as we can be.